I don't have an opinion about this within the framework that it's being discussed. I see this much differently. Um, Start from the fact that you have two areas you have to focus on. One, everyone we're talking about is a human being, so that gets lost in the sauce. However, being a human being doesn't just mean that you're entitled to all the things that we are all entitled to: food, clothing, shelter, etc. And it also entails certain responsibilities. It also entails certain rights where you are. The thing that initiates the movement of people here, first of all, generally, is either the fact that the U.S. government or some other puppetry of the U.S. government. And let me be even more clear: the people that make policy and control the U.S. government, the places that they target their bombs and their coups d'état and their foreign policy and their global economic policy, creates refugees. People don't generally leave their home and their family to travel thousands of miles away unless there is no other viable alternative for them to survive. And so that's at the head end of this. The people in the Congress and the president and the bureaucracy in corporate America and the DNC and the RNC and everywhere else, who seem paralyzed in terms of dealing with the human cost, both to the people who are refugees and to the communities who are already starving, that they have to now share their crumbs with in order for people to not die in the street. There's some people that are making a big profit in terms of money and power over this condition. They are making the policy that creates the motion, that drives people into motion and puts them at the border. And they're making the policy that allows the gates to open and close at the apparent whim of the bureaucracy. So we're paralyzed in terms of making policy. That's a crock of shit. What we're looking at is the result of policy. So then we have to, because, okay, what are some of the impacts? The obvious impacts are at the place where the people are being driven from, the wages are depressed there because you have dictatorships that basically dictate how much people will get paid, and an economy that generally results in you dig out the wealth under the ground here and take it to the ship so we can send it back to America and shut up. That's in essence the life for the people that don't flee from these places. That stuff comes here. Some people coming here are just following their stuff here. The wealth that used to exist in their country is dragged here, and they're hoping for some trickle down when they get here. That is part of the dynamic also. Then when they get here, the arrival of another 100,000 or 1 million or 5 million workers in a labor market already with depressed wages and few opportunities, that problem is now exacerbated. It has nothing to do with the character or nature or habits or language or whatever, dietary habits, nothing to do with the character traits of the people who are arriving. It's the nature of things. If I've got 10 jobs and 100 people, 90 people are shit out of luck. And the 10 that work are going to work and shut up so they don't end up part of the 90. This all benefits the same group of people. They make money on the weapons. They gain control of the natural resources in these countries. They gain stronger control. Remember, unions used to be powerful in this country. How do you think they were driven to the state that they are now? Mechanization is part of it. But there are so many jobs here where there's no mechanization and the wages are half or even worse of what they were even 20 years ago. Again, it's not the fault of the people that got here. They're victims of the same people that we're victims of as workers here. And so we have to look at this in a holistic way. And if we're going to solve it, we got to understand who the enemy is. And that's what we have to deal with. This political process ain't going to do shit for us.
Yeah, and I think we all agree on that. Mel, I know that's where we do agree. It's the same people causing the problems. Ladies, do either one of you want to jump in and say anything about this right now? Because this is just an intriguing conversation, and this is an important conversation. You're not going to get these conversations on CNN, MSNBC, or Fox, right? They just want to pit people against each other. And, I don't mean to push it off. And I try to explain this to a lot of my leftist friends or whatever you want, my progressive friends of the past, that a lot of people within this country who want a border wall, who want security here, they just feel that they want to take care of their citizens first because they believe the system is so overloaded that we don't have room to take care of anybody else. It's just like a mother in a village that's starving. And if she found food, I'm pretty sure that mother's going to feed her kids first before she gives the food to the rest of the villagers. Ladies, do either one of you want to jump in?
Can I just say something first?
Go ahead.
As you build that wall to protect the people here, supposedly, you are walling in those people whose countries we're bombing. We are putting them in Gaza.